Good morning, students. We are going to go over the 1.06 mandatory lab isobar exploration. The first thing that we need to do when we look at this lab is we need to explore the graphics. And right here we have a map. This would be a weather map. There is a continent on this map, and if you look in the background, you can see the outline of the continent. You need to note this continent, and you need to, this is actually a country from a continent. You should be familiar with this one. And you need to know, is this in the northern hemisphere or in the southern hemisphere? That's going to be very important to being able to finish this lab. If you don't know where this country is located, go Google it and find out, is it in the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere? Because that is going to make a big difference in how you mark your map. The second thing we need to look at are these lines. There's a bunch of squiggly lines all over this map, and those lines represent isobars. The isobar lines are like contour lines in a topographic map, and that everything inside of them tells you that there is an equal number or an equal amount of something. In a topographic map, it's an equal elevation. On a weather map like this one, everything inside of this circle is at an equal air pressure. So inside of this circle, everything is approximately 1,000 millibars. All of the air between this circle and this circle would be approximately 1,004 millibars. So right in here, this is all about 1,004. Of course, the pressure goes up as you move from this inner circle towards this outer circle. When we look here, all of the air between this line and this line would be approximately 1,008 millibars, so on and so forth. When we are trying to note high and low pressure, we use 1,013 as our cutoff point. So anything below 1,013 is considered low pressure. 1,013 and above is considered high pressure. So when we're marking this map, we want to note that. So anything that is under 1,013 millibars would get a low pressure marking. And that's one of our steps on this. We have to label 2 high pressure areas and 2 low pressure areas. We're going to label with H and L. Those are traditional symbols that we would see on a weather map. If you watch the news, you would see those. Now, it says here, please use your snipping tool to snip the map, use the pen, and mark the high and low pressure areas. So we're going to do that. We're going to find our snipping tool. This right here is a video that will show you how to find, open, and use the snipping tool. So if what I'm showing you next doesn't help you, try opening this video and watching that separately. So you pause this one, watch that one, and come back. We're going to go down here to the search bar, and we're going to type in the word snip. And you can see we have snip and sketch and snipping tool. Snip and sketch is the newer version of the snipping tool, so it's more compatible. I would open this one. So I'll press open here. Ta-da! And it's opening my snipping tool. The first thing we're going to do is press new. We're going to get our crossbars, and I'm going to position my crossbars up to the upper left-hand corner of the segment that I want to snip. Hold down my left mouse button and drag my mouse down to the lower right corner so that my entire map is highlighted, because everything that's highlighted will be captured by that snipping tool. Release the left mouse button, and the map appears. Ta-da! Just like that. When you want to write on your map, you can use a ballpoint pen or pencil. You also have a highlighter. I just find these easier to use. And you can adjust the color and the thickness of your line. And we said anything below 1,013 would get a low pressure mark. We know that 1,000 is below 1,013, so I'll just put an L right here. Anything above 1,013 is going to get a high pressure mark, so we're going to put a high right here, because that's 1,024. You can mark the others on your own. And then we're going to come down here, because we need to add more to this map before we paste it. It says, in the northern hemisphere, the wind blows clockwise around centers of high pressure. The wind blows counterclockwise around lows. it is opposite in the southern hemisphere. So what we want to do is we want to draw arrows, and your arrows should look something like this, with either an H or an L inside of them. So right around where you've marked your H's and your L's, you're going to put an arrow. And I'm going to just draw these because I want you to decide which way those arrows should be pointing and where they should be placed. So you get to figure that part out, but this is a key for you, a modeling of what that should look like on your map, so that you know your arrow should go around your letters and it should point in the direction that the wind is blowing. So if it's blowing clockwise, this is the way that a clock spins, so it would look like this. If it's blowing counterclockwise, this is opposite to the way that a clock spins, and so it would look like this. Now, those are all of the questions where we have to use our snipping tool. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take out this map right here. I'm just going to click on the map, and all of these dots have shown up. And that means I've selected the map, and I'm going to press my delete key. I'm going to come over to my snipping tool. I'm going to press the copy button right here. And see that check mark? That means my computer has it on the clipboard. Come back to my document. I'm going to right mouse click, and I'm going to use my paste clipboard. I'm going to click on that clipboard. I can see my image is showing up. And I have replaced the old map with my new marked up map, which is exactly what we need to do. Then I will come down here and I will note see map here, see map here, right up here. I want to put see map and see map. Now the teacher knows to look at your map for your answers to all of those questions. Now that you have your map placed on your lab, you're going to come back and you're going to answer questions 3, 4, 7, and 8 using complete sentences. This is an example of what the answers to questions 7 and 8 should look like right here. So this is just an example. Doesn't make it correct, but it gives you something to model your answer after. So you have a complete sentence and you're answering the question fully. Up here, in 3 and 4, explain using complete sentences over which areas you would expect to see rain or snow. And we covered that in class, same as we've covered explain using complete sentences over which areas you would expect to see clear skies. So you would use your notes to answer that, or you can go and look this information up on the internet. Or in your OMS, you can read through that lesson 1.06 and find the answer there. If you need any other help, please don't hesitate to call, text, or email. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing your work.